my name's Liz, I'm the baker that sews. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you are a subscriber. As always, it's really lovely to have you here as I share my sewing journey. So today's video is going to be another episode of my Sunday sewing catch up, which is a video that I do every Sunday, which is a roundup of all the things that I've been sewing, but things that I've also been inspired by, or it might be a few bits of fabric that I want to share with you. So today is going to be a roundup of all the things that I've been getting up to this week. I've had a busy week with work, but I'm now on half term, which means next week's video I might have a few more makes than usual to share with you. And because when it's half term or a break from school, I always get a little bit more of an opportunity to do some sewing, which is always really lovely. And I've got lots of autumn winter plans, which I can't wait to get stuck into. As with all my videos, I'll let you know what I'm wearing first, and I'm wearing something that I got sewn up this week and I've worn loads already, and then I've got some trousers on with this. I'll put images in of everything that I talk about today if I don't have the line drawings in front of me or you can't see my full outfit. So this is a pattern by Tilly and the Buttons. It's from the stretch book. I was going to say Make It Simple, but I think this is from the stretch book. I've got both of the books out to share with you. This is the Freya top, so you can make a top or you can make a dress, and this fabric was provided as part of my Abercarn fabric ambassador work that I do with Abercarn fabrics, and it's just a navy cotton jersey, and I've got the mock turtleneck neckband on this version, and then I've got 3/4 length sleeves. That's my preferred length of sleeve, and to be honest, when I was cutting this out I didn't have enough of this fabric to do long sleeves anyway. And then I've paired it with a pair of my Anna Allen Pomono pants, and I've shared these before with this amazing animal print all over it. This fabric is from Semi Sunshine, but they don't have any left. I love the Pomono pants because they don't have that outer leg seam, so when you've got fabric like this that's got an amazing pattern all over it, it's not going to distort the animals. And then I've done my usual 2 patch pockets on the bottom there. It's elasticated and it's quite a high-waisted pair of trousers too. It's going to be really difficult for me to show you the full outfit, so I will put pictures in so you can see what it looks like, but that's what I'm wearing. So I'll start with what I've been sewing up this week, and I've been sewing up a lot of basics, and actually a lot of what I've been sewing has all been in plain fabric, so no patterns this week, which is really unusual for me. Normally I've got lots of patterned bright fabric. But I know that I've got a gap in my wardrobe for plain things like this, so that I can wear them with, you know, like the trousers that I shared with you. So I used this book, Tilly and the Buttons stretch book. So this is my go-to cozy sort of fitted sweater jumper type top from the Tilly and the Buttons stretch book. So this is the book, and it's the Freya sweater and dress. So you can make a long sleeved sweater, but then you can also make a dress, which I have made a couple of these dresses before. So you can make this one. You can also do shorter length sleeves, or you can do the long sleeves too. And yeah, it's got this sort of, how do they describe it? Roll neck. I keep saying mock turtleneck. I don't think I'm saying that correctly. So this is like a roll neck jumper. I absolutely love it. With all of Tilly's books, the sizes range from a size 1 to an 8. So for me, I sewed up a size 3, so they're Tilly and the Button sizes, which is a 32-inch bust, 27-inch waist, and a 33.5-inch hip for the sweater, or 37-inch hip for the dress. And it fits me really nicely. The largest size is the Tilly and the Button size 8 for this, which is a 42-inch bust, 37-inch waist, and then a 43.25-inch hip measurement if you're making the sweater, which is what I've made, or 47-inch hip measurement if you're making the dress. They recommend light to medium weight sweater knits, rib knits, jersey or ponte roma with at least 25% crosswise stretch. This is perfect, this fabric, so it's like a cotton jersey. If I can find it on the Abercarn website, I'll link it down below for you. But it's really cosy and warm. It goes with loads of things that I've got in my wardrobe already. So that's one of them. And then I had shared I think a few weeks ago, I shared the fabrics that I got from Abercarn Fabrics. And then they're all plain. So I've sewn up another 2 of the Freya sweaters. So one in this grey, and again, it's exactly the same style as what I'm wearing. So it's got that mock neckband. This one has got long sleeves. I'm definitely going to use this as like a layering piece. So exactly the same style, fits me really nicely and feels really cozy too. And then I've also made a mustard one, which is in exactly the same style. So yeah, neckband like that. And then in terms of the length, this sort of would go to, my hips are here, it goes to about here, so it's perfect for like tucking into things. And it fits me really nicely and it feels nice and snug. So I think all of these Freya tops are going to go with loads of different things that I've got in my wardrobe, and I think they're just going to add that extra layer to keep me nice and cozy and warm when the weather gets really chilly, especially when I'm at school and I'm out in the garden with the children. So I'm really pleased with how they've turned out. And then I've done a couple of alterations. So I've been switching my wardrobe around. I've finally taken the plunge and I've switched my wardrobe from my summer makes and the makes that I know that I can't eke out in the autumn using jumpers and cardigans and tights and things. So I've packed some of my dresses away that I know just will not transition into the autumn winter. And then I've got some of my really snuggly makes out and some of my dungaree dresses that I know that I really enjoy wearing when the weather's a little bit chilly. And a couple of things that have sat in my wardrobe. I've got one that's sat in my wardrobe. It's a relatively new make actually, but I haven't worn it yet, and there was a reason for that. And then I've got another make, which is the Freya dress made in this rainbow striped fabric. And I absolutely loved it when I first made it, but I just don't reach for it. I think even for me, it's quite bright and colourful. So with the Freya dress, there's an option to add like this pleated ruffle. If I show you the line drawing, you can add this pleated ruffle here. So with the rainbow version, I did add the pleated ruffle all the way across the front, and then I did it on the back as well. And I just think it was a little bit too much rainbow, and I just wasn't reaching for it. It wasn't getting worn at all. So I chopped off the skirt, and I've used the offcut from the skirt to make some knickers. And then I have hemmed the now turned into a top. I've hemmed it at the bottom. And then I re-hemmed the sleeves because I did quite a messy job. It was something that I made ages ago and I wasn't pleased with the finish. So I now have a wearable top. So here it is. It's in this gorgeous sort of retro rainbow stripe. I absolutely love it. I love the colours. I think they're really bright and colourful. And this is going to go with so many things that I've got in my wardrobe as well. Like I've got the Nina Lee Camden skirt, which is navy, which I think this would go with. I've got my Helen's Closet black Yanta overalls, which I know this will go so well with. And I'm just really pleased now because when it was a dress, I wasn't using it at all. I wasn't wearing it. But now it's a top, I'm definitely going to get so much more wear out of it. So that was my first refashion, and it was a really straightforward refashion. I had to unpick all the ruffle that was along here and along the back, sort of put it on and measured where I wanted to chop it off to become a top, and then just hemmed it. And then I re-hemmed the sleeves as well because I wasn't too pleased with how I'd finished it before. So I'm definitely going to wear that lots and lots and lots. And then the second refashion isn't really a refashion, but I just had to adjust it ever so slightly. And it is this Tilly and the Buttons bobby skirt. So I've made the bobby pinafore loads before, and then I made this skirt and I had it cut out. I think I cut it out about a year ago and I just didn't get around to sewing it up for whatever reason. And every so often I'll get my work in progress box out where I've usually got a couple of projects cut out ready to go. And I'll have a look through and see what I got either halfway through or what I haven't even started yet. And that's what I'm going to be tackling this half term. But this skirt was in that box. So I finished it off and it was actually a really enjoyable make. So here it is in this gorgeous pink needle cord, and it's got these little crowns all over it. Love the pockets. The pockets are lined with some Liberty fabric that I used to make a shirt for my husband, and it's got rockets all over it. And I think I've shared this in one of my Sunday sewing catch-ups because I was really pleased with it finally being finished and out of my work in progress box. But when it came to trying it on, it was too big. Now, I've talked about this before, but I really suffer with bloating as part of my irritable bowel syndrome. So sometimes my waistline and hip measurement is slightly larger and sometimes it's slightly smaller. So it can fluctuate up to a couple of inches really, and that's every day or weekly. So when I was making this skirt, my waistline and hip measurement was ever so slightly larger by a couple of inches. And then when I came to try this on to wear, because I wanted to wear it to work, it was huge on the back. I had a good sort of 2-inch gap on the back and it just didn't look right on me at all. But then I was in a bit of a conundrum because I knew that my waistline may increase like the following week. So I didn't want to drastically alter the waistband. I didn't want to take out that extra 2 inches that I had on the waistband measurement. So instead, what I decided to do is insert some elastic into the back of the waistband. So that's what I've done here. I've just inserted, I think I used 1.5 inch wide elastic, and I've just sewn it into the sort of side seam on the waistband there and on the other side. So it has that give, which means that the waistband can grow with my waistline measurement each week. And it's really, really comfortable to wear as well. So quite a simple hack. I think it's going to make this skirt really wearable. And I've got a couple of pairs of Jennifer Lauren handmade Bastion culottes that I find the same with the waistband, that when I made them they fitted really well, but now, you know, my waistband fluctuates, my waist size fluctuates. So I think I'm going to do the same hack with the culottes as well, just insert a little bit of elastic, and it just gives me that little bit of ease that I need, and it also makes it ever so slightly comfortable too. I will put pictures in of me wearing this skirt with this top, so you can see what they look like together. But I'm really pleased with that hack. It means that it's really wearable and it's also super comfortable too. So that was another alteration that I've needed to do for ages, and actually it was quite a quick alteration. It took me like an hour to unpick the waistband, measure the elastic, stitch it in, and then stitch the waistband back up together. So I'm really pleased about that. So the next thing that I wanted to share with you is some fabric that's arrived in the post. So sadly the Dab Hand are closing down, which has meant that they're having a massive sale. They might have a couple of things still left on their website. If they have, I'll link them down below. But they have got huge discounts on loads of fabrics. So I went over to their website and had a little look, and I found a couple of pieces that caught my eye. 2 of them I've already turned into garments, because when I ordered them I knew instantly what I wanted to turn them into, and they're tops, so they're quite straightforward patterns to sew up. And then the other 2 I've got rough plans for, and I'm hoping to get those sewn up in the next couple of weeks. One of them definitely in the next week, because I see that as definitely as an autumn make, which when I share the fabric I'll let you know what that one is. So the first one is, it's going to be difficult to show the fabric without giving away what I turned it into. But it is this sort of cotton jersey in a really bright orange leopard print type sort of pattern. It's on a grey background, and then it's got these like navy and orange leopard print sort of pattern all over it. I absolutely loved it. I originally ordered 1.5 metres, but then I got an email from the Dab Hand to say that they actually had less than they thought. And there was only 60 centimetres left, and would I like it? So I said yes, because I really loved the fabric, and I thought even if I only get a 60 centimetre piece, I might be able to squeeze out a t-shirt. And I was so pleased when it arrived, because I've actually been able to turn it into another one of these tops, which is the Freya top by Tilly and the Buttons, just using a 60 centimetre remnant, which I'm absolutely thrilled with. And actually I've managed to make a long sleeved version as well, which I was really surprised that I managed to get a Freya top out of such a small remnant piece. So here it is. This is the Tilly and the Buttons Freya top, exactly the same as this one, in this gorgeous jersey fabric from the Dab Hand. I just love that print, and again this is going to go with so many things that I've got in my wardrobe. I can see this going perfectly with my Yanta overalls, and I'm really excited about wearing it with my Yanta overalls. So I'm really pleased with that. I think it's going to be a great addition to my autumn winter wardrobe. So the next fabric that I got from the Dab Hand is this plissé fabric. So it's described as silver plissé jersey fabric. And I'd heard of plissé fabric before. I've got a couple of garments in my wardrobe that I've used plissé fabric for, but I didn't realise that you could get jersey plissé. So it's got quite a lot of stretch to it. You can just see as I stretch it there. It's in this gorgeous silver sort of colourway. I absolutely adore it. And as soon as I saw it, I thought it needs to become some kind of festive party type jumper. But I just loved sort of the sparkly, subtle sparkliness that you get from that silver plissé fabric. I absolutely loved it. So I think I must have ordered about 1.5 meters, because I made the Tilly and the Buttons Billy jumper out of it. And I used it to make the version that's got the balloon sleeves. So this is what the model's wearing, the balloon sleeves. I don't know if you can see on the line drawing, but I love the sleeves on this pattern. It's absolutely amazing. I love the Tilly and the Buttons Billy jumper. It's a pattern that I've used lots and lots already. So I have already turned it into that pattern and absolutely love it. I think it's really comfortable, but it's also sort of quite festive and party-ish, which is exactly what I wanted it to become. I love those balloon sleeves in that plissé jersey. I just think that they are absolutely gorgeous. And the drape on that fabric as well is just beautiful. So yeah, that is what the jumper looks like. Both sleeves, and then I've got the cuff detail as well. And I was a bit worried that there wouldn't be enough stretch with this plissé, but it stretches perfectly and is really comfortable to wear as well. And then the only thing that I had to do was I had to cut the waistband in 4 sections. So I have actually got a seam line that runs down the front and the back. That's the only thing. You can't really tell when it's on because of the nature of the jumper. You can't really see that seam line unless you're looking really closely. But I'm really excited about wearing this in the festive season, and also just if I've got a nice party to go to. I think it's just going to be a really lovely, comfortable thing to wear, but something that looks a little bit special because of that gorgeous silver, and it feels really lovely and soft as well, and just silky, because of the nature of the fabric. So that was the other piece of fabric that I got from the Dab Hand. And then I've got 2 more pieces to show you. So the next one is in a pink colourway, which is unusual for me, but I have been drawn to this colour quite a lot recently. And it's a cotton suiting fabric. Let me see if I can hold it up to show you. It's in this beautiful pink, like dusky pink. I absolutely love it. Such a beautiful colour. This has got stretch to it. You can see there's a little bit of stretch to it. This is going to become a pair of trousers. I have no idea what pattern I'm going to use yet. I've got just over 1 metre and it's really wide fabric as well. So I'm going to turn it into some kind of trousers, but I'm not decided on the pattern yet. I feel like they need to be fairly fitted trousers, so quite a tapered leg. So I'm going to have a look in my pattern stash and see what pattern I could use to turn this fabric into some trousers. I just love that. And again, this is a plain fabric, which is unusual for me. So I have definitely been drawn to plainer fabrics, and actually I think that would go really nicely with a pair of trousers in that fabric. I think they'd look gorgeous together. So I'm excited about deciding on the pattern. I've actually got the Sew Over It Ultimate trousers, and I've never sewn them up before. And when I was going through my patterns, because I've changed the storage behind me, when I was going through my patterns, I was reminded that I've got that pattern. So that might be one that this becomes, especially because the fabric was fairly cheap. So even if I use this fabric as a wearable toile and test out that pattern, that could be an option because I know they're fairly fitted. Do let me know if you've sewn up that pattern, the Sew Over It Ultimate trousers. I'd be interested to hear if anyone else has sewn that pattern up. So the next fabric I've got feels to me very autumnal, and it might be because it's an orange, predominantly an orange pattern with sort of I can't decide if it's a brown or a black background. And if I hold it up, you'll be able to see. But it's this brocade fabric that I got from the Dab Hand. I'm just working out which is the right way and which is the wrong way. So it's this gorgeous brocade fabric that I got from the Dab Hand. I absolutely love it. I'm going to turn this into a cropped jacket, just with a black lining, and I've got just some cotton lawn fabric that I'm going to use to line it. And I'm going to use the Sew Over It Cocoa jacket because it's a favourite cropped jacket pattern of mine. I absolutely love this print. I feel like I need to sew this up quite soon because I feel like it's a very autumnal, Halloween-y type sort of fabric. So I feel like I need to sew it up quite soon. It's going to be a really cute addition to my work wardrobe for the days when I'm not teaching and I'm out of class. But I just absolutely loved that. And then you've got this sort of almost like honeycomb effect pattern. I don't know if you can see that very well, but there you've got like this honeycomb sort of pattern, which I absolutely love with the large scale flowers. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I think it's going to make a really cute cropped jacket. So I'm excited about turning that into a jacket, and that's already been pre-washed as well. They were all of the fabrics that I got from the Dab Hand sale. Like I said, if they've got any fabrics left, I'll link them down below so you can go and check them out, because they've got huge discounts. Like some of the fabric, I think it was £1.50 per half metre, which is why I snapped up 4 pieces of fabric. And I'm really pleased that I've turned 2 of them into makes already, which is really exciting. So that's all of the fabrics I've been buying this week. And then I've got another make that I forgot to share with you. And it is a make, I think it's going to be quite difficult to show on camera because it's in a navy colourway. But I've had this fabric, it's sort of a knitted effect jersey. It's got a little bit of stretch, which has meant it's been perfect for this pattern. And the pattern that I went for in the end was quite a loose fitting jumper pattern, because that was what I imagined when I bought this fabric. That's what I imagined I would turn it into. It's going to be really difficult to show you on camera because of the navy background, but it's got this sort of knit effect. It's absolutely beautiful. It's just navy. When I bought this fabric, I bought it from Swimstyle. It was quite pricey. I think it was like £22 a metre or something, which is quite pricey, but it is really gorgeous and soft. It feels quite weighty as well. So I got the navy one, and then I also got a red colourway of the fabric. When I bought it, in my head I had a very loose sort of chunky type jumper, and that's exactly what I've turned it into. It's going to be really difficult to show you. So the pattern that I went for with this fabric was the Tilly and the Buttons Nora jumper, which is this pattern. It's got really long sleeves. I've actually chopped off quite a lot of the sleeve length because I didn't want it to be super duper long. So on this pattern they've got this sort of stepped hem, but I decided I didn't want that, so I have just kept the hem the same length at the front and the back, and then I've just hemmed it. And then it's got this gorgeous like high neck here, and it is quite roomy. It's meant to be quite a roomy jumper, like you can see on the model here, and that's exactly what it looks like on me. I absolutely love it. It's super comfortable. I think it's going to, again, add a little bit of warmth to my day when I'm at school. And I've already tried it on with this type of top underneath, so a fitted top with the jumper over the top, and it feels really cosy and warm. So I'm really pleased with that. I've had this fabric in my stash for well over a year. And I think because it was quite pricey, I was a little bit nervous to cut into it and turn it into something. And I hadn't really worked out in my mind the perfect pattern to turn it into. So I'm really pleased that I've used the Nora jumper because it's exactly what I wanted. So this is what it looks like on. I know that's going to be really difficult for you to see, but it's got this really gorgeous, cozy, like high neck. And then the sleeves, I actually need to hem them because I ended up chopping them. I don't know if you can see, but I ended up chopping them because they were too long. And then what I was also thinking was I could tuck it into things as well. I just think it's going to add an extra layer of coziness, especially when it starts getting a bit chilly outside. And then I've also cut up the red colourway to turn it into the Tilly and the Buttons Bertha cardigan, which is from the Make It Simple book. So this is the red fabric. And then I'm going to turn it into the Bertha cardigan, which is from the Tilly and the Buttons Make It Simple book. And I'll just show you what the Bertha cardigan looks like. So here it is on the model, and then I'll grab the line drawings just so you can see what they look like. It's a really lovely sort of batwing style cardigan. So these are the line drawings. It's like a batwing style cardigan, and it's got this hemband on the bottom, quite deep cuffs, and then it's got this neckband that goes all the way from the bottom around your neck and all the way down the other side, which is really lovely. So I'm going to use the exact same fabric which I've got here in the red, and I'm going to use that to make the Bertha cardigan, which I'm really pleased about because I think that will come in really handy when the weather starts getting really chilly as well. So that's a pattern from the Tilly and the Buttons Make It Simple. And then I want to say thank you really for your suggestions on this double gauze fabric, which I shared last Sunday, and then also this gorgeous rainbow quilted fabric. Loads of bomber jacket recommendations, so thank you so much for all of those. All amazing pattern suggestions. I've made a list of them, and I'm going to go through every single one and do pros and cons for which pattern, and then eventually work out which pattern I'm going to go for. But I want to sew this bomber jacket up this half term. I'm so excited about it. And the next thing on my list to prepare for sewing it is having a look for the cuffing, because I want cuffing for the neck, cuffing for the sleeves, and cuffing for the hem. So I need to go and check out where I can get the cuffing from. If anyone's got any suggestions, please let me know in the comments where I can go and get some cuffing, but we'll go with the amazingness of this rainbow quilted fabric. And then lots and lots of suggestions for double gauze and some children's patterns. I was really lucky enough recently to win 2 PDF patterns for part of a competition over on Instagram, which was really exciting. And they're patterns by a company called Swimstyle patterns, and I hadn't come across them before. So I was able to choose 2 PDFs. The pattern that I chose was a dress called the Ellery dress, which is like a loose-fitting baby doll style dress. It comes in sizes extra small to extra large. It's a baby doll style dress with loose romantic sleeves, which I absolutely loved, and these gorgeous like tiers. And one of the fabric recommendations for that pattern is double gauze. So I thought, although this is a fabric that I wouldn't usually choose, I really love the style of the Ellery dress by Swimstyle patterns. And I thought I would use this fabric as almost like a wearable toile. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a go at sewing up the Ellery dress using this double gauze that I got as the part of a Sew Hilly Jane box, and see whether I need to do any fit alterations with the Ellery. It's a really tricky pattern name to say, the Ellery dress pattern by Swimstyle patterns. I really love the look of the gorgeous sort of romantic sleeves and the tiers, and it's quite loose fitting as well. Suggested fabrics for the Ellery dress are woven fabrics, light to medium weight, so a chambray, cotton, linen, crepe, double gauze and cheesecloth. So I think this fabric is the perfect opportunity for me to have a go at doing a wearable toile of that pattern. In terms of the sizes for the dress pattern, an extra small is a bust measurement of 32 inches, a waist measurement of 25 inches, and then a hip measurement of 34.5 inches. And then for an extra large, it's a 44-inch bust measurement, 36-inch waist measurement, and 46-inch hip measurement. So those are my plans for the double gauze. And then also for the quilted fabric, I just need to go through all of the bomber jacket recommendations, thank you so much for them, and work out which one best fits the style that I'm looking for. And then I'm going to crack on making that this half term, which I'm super excited about. So as it's half term, that means I have got a little bit more time for sewing. Unfortunately, because my daughter's still got a boot on her ankle, she's still got a couple of weeks of resting to do. Because she fractured her ankle a couple of weeks ago. We're not doing as many day trips out and about, which, to be honest, we all need a bit of a rest this half term. So it's perfect timing, I suppose, which means that I've got a bit more time to indulge myself in a little bit of sewing. So I've got a couple of projects cut out that I definitely want to get sewn up this next week, and I've definitely got the time for that. And then when I was going through my work in progress project box, I also came across something that I started and I haven't finished, so I'm hoping to get that finished this half term too. So the first one is this gorgeous fabric that I got from Studio Jepson, the lovely Faye. She shared this amazing pumpkin print fabric, and I definitely want to get this sewn up because it's Halloween next weekend, so I want to wear it when it's Halloween. And the pattern that I'm going to be using is one of my tried and tested favourite dress patterns, and it's the Tilly and the Buttons indigo dress. So that's all cut out and ready to go, and I'm really excited about sewing that up. And then the other fabric, which I've ummed and ahed about, and I feel like I've gone round and round in circles about what to do with it, was the fabric that came in a Sew Hilly Jane box, and it's this gorgeous gingham fabric. Now, I originally got a different colourway. I think I got black, and I swapped it because red is definitely a colour that I would wear more with the gingham fabric. Black's not really a colour that I sew with very often, so I was very excited when somebody asked if we could swap. So I have decided to use this fabric to sew up another of the Bella Loves floor dress. So I made my watercolour rainbow dress a few weeks ago, and it really makes me smile. And I really want to make an autumn winter one that I can layer up with a long sleeve top underneath, or a cardigan, or a thick woolly jumper, thick woolly tights and ankle boots. So I'm going to be sewing up a red gingham version of the floor dress and top, and I think that's just going to be absolutely beautiful. So I'm very excited about those plans. And then I've obviously got my cardigan that I talked about. And then I had this cut out for absolutely ages. It must be well over a year. It's the Tilly and the Buttons Nest skirt. So I've cut out the shorter version, which is what the model's wearing here. And I've cut it out in this sort of rust needle cord. Whoops. If I hold it up so you can see the colour. It's in this rust needle cord. And I think this would be a fantastic addition to my autumn winter wardrobe. And I don't know why, I've started sewing it and then I completely stopped and I've packed it away, and it's just in my little plastic wallet here. So I'm hopefully going to finish off sewing this up this half term, because I think I absolutely love that colour. I think there's loads of things that I've made recently that will go with that colour as well. And I'm actually really enjoying wearing skirts at the moment, and I didn't think I would. Previously, I've not really sewn up very many skirts, but I'm actually really enjoying wearing them. So I'm excited about getting that finished too. I think it should be a fairly straightforward sew. It's just making sure that I take my time with the skirt and adding the zip fly. But I've seen so many beautiful nest skirts over on Instagram, so I'm excited about having my rust colourway nest skirt finished. So that's all of my plans for this half term. A few things that I know I'll definitely got sewn up, and a couple of things that if I do get around to sewing them, then that's amazing, but if I don't, that doesn't really matter. So I look forward to sharing with you next Sunday how I got on with all the different things that I'm planning to do this half term. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, then please do make sure that you hit that subscribe button, because this half term I'm going to definitely 100%, I keep saying this in these videos, I'm going to film my roundups of what I sewed in August, September and October. So that's definitely 3 more vlogs that are guaranteed to come your way very soon. I'm going to get them filmed this half term and then edit them in the next couple of weeks. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back soon with another video. Take care. Bye.